informing the actions taken so far by various organizations and why more action is needed. Hello and welcome back to the AMR video series. In the last video, we discussed why and how antimicrobial resistance is a threat. We shared the various statistics and scientific predictions that have been made by credible organizations such as the World Health Organization, World Bank, United Nations, and their respective partners. If you're yet to watch it, we encourage you to do so. AMR is a real threat, and unfortunately, the effects have already started to manifest. However, all is not lost. There's still hope. In this video, we will inform you on the various actions that have been taken by the organizations and why more action is needed despite all these efforts. At the 68th World Health Assembly in May 2015, the World Health Assembly endorsed a global action plan to tackle antimicrobial resistance, including antibiotic resistance. The development of this plan was guided by the advice of countries and key stakeholders based on several multi-stakeholder consultations at different global and regional forums. The World Health Assembly also urged all member states to develop and have in place by 2017 national action plans on antimicrobial resistance that are aligned with the objectives of the Global Action Plan. During the United General Assembly, September 2016, the World Health leaders convened in a high-level meeting on antimicrobial resistance. Acknowledging that resistance to antimicrobial medicines was largely due to the inappropriate use of drugs in the fields of public health, animal, food, agriculture, and aquaculture sectors. The member states called on the World Health Organizations and other relevant organizations such as Food and Agriculture Organization and World Organization for Animal Health to finalize a global framework to support the development, control, distribution, and appropriate use of these antimicrobial medicines, diagnostic tools, vaccines, among them other interventions. The Assembly also led to the convening of the Interagency Coordination Group, the IACG, on antimicrobial resistance. The IACG brought together partners across the UN, international organizations, and experts on AMR. The team handed its report to the UN Secretary General titled "No Time to Wait: Securing the Future from Drug-Resistant Infection." The IACG on antimicrobial resistance was convened by the Secretary General of the United Nations after the UN high-level meeting on antimicrobial resistance in 2016. The IACG brought together partners across the UN, the international organizations, and individuals with expertise across human, animal, and plant health, as well as food, animal feed, trade, development, and environmental sectors to formulate a blueprint for the fight against antimicrobial resistance. The Secretariat for the IACG was provided by the World Health Organization with contributions from the Food and Agriculture Organizations of the United Nations, the FAO, and the World Organizations for Animal Health. The IACG completed its mandate on 29 April 2019 upon the handover of its report to the Secretary General. A manual was developed by WHO in collaboration with the Food and Agriculture Organization and the World Organization for Animal Health to assist countries in preparing or refining their national action plans. Many countries have so far developed their national action plans, and implementation is underway in some countries. Several organizations and initiatives have been very instrumental in helping countries develop their national action plans. This includes the REACT Group, the Fleming Fund, the Wellcome Trust, the International Center for Antimicrobial Resistance Solutions, and Joint Programming Initiative on Antimicrobial Resistance, among others. The implementation of national action plans will help meet the objectives set in mitigating the threat of antimicrobial resistance. These objectives include improving awareness and understanding of antimicrobial resistance through effective communication, education, and training. Strengthening the knowledge and evidence based through surveillance and research. Reducing the incidence of infection through effective sanitation, hygiene, and infection prevention measures. Optimizing the use of antimicrobial medicines in human and animal health. Lastly, developing an economic case for sustainable investment that takes account of the needs of all countries and to increase investment in new medicines, diagnostic tools, vaccines, and other interventions. Initiatives have also been established to stimulate the research and development of few antibiotics and other alternative treatments. An example is the AMR Industry Alliance, which consists of 100+ pharma, generics, biotech, diagnostic companies and associations. Its aim is to drive and measure industry progress to curb antimicrobial resistance. We also have AMR Action Fund, a groundbreaking collective venture with nearly $1 billion to develop new antibiotics within a decade. There is also CurbX, a global public-private partnership led by Boston University to fund and support research and development of products aimed at combating antimicrobial resistance. These are just examples. We have many more initiatives that have been established with strategies aimed at mitigating the threat of antimicrobial resistance. Why is it not enough? First and foremost, for these initiatives to be impactful, sustainability is required. Most of the action plans, especially from developing countries, lack enough funding. According to a joint report by the IDEA Initiative and REACT, only 1 in 5 countries have been identified funding for their national action plans on AMR. This indicates that most national action plans remain as paperwork with little implementation going on. Another big stumbling block is the low level of awareness about antimicrobial resistance among the general public. Antimicrobial resistance remains a medical jargon among healthcare and professional workers. It is unfortunate that even when many government and private sector leaders have never heard of this phenomenon. This makes it hard for governments to commit resources as there are no political leaders to champion for it. The same case applies for the private sector. The current low level of awareness and understanding on AMR makes it hard for positive behavioral change towards antimicrobial use. Continued irrational use of antibiotics frustrates the efforts being made in this fight, pulling us behind. That is why we request your support in this fight. You too could become an AMR ambassador. After listening to this video and all the other videos we've shared previously, please do not consume the information alone. Share it with your friends, your family and colleagues. Kindly also share these video links within your social media networks. It looks simple, but could achieve milestones if we all played a small role in this fight. Together, we can outsmart these resistant microbes and safeguard our future.